Hello, hello everyone. Welcome to the Iron Orchid Designs Facebook page. This is Michelle from Serendipity House. Say hello when you come on, please. Those are the trucks outside. I am excited to be using the new transfers today. There I am. I've been working on this table just waiting to put these transfers on. And the Wander transfer is my favorite new transfer, and that's the one that I'm going to be using today. So, hi Gina. So, okay, so let's get started, and I'll show you what I've already kind of done ahead of time so that you guys don't have to watch all the slow stuff. Let me know where you guys are watching from. So I've got a tilt top table here, and I'm going to bend you guys down so you can see everything I'm doing, and you can go ahead and ask questions. And it's already been painted, sanded, and sealed. Okay, so those are the first steps before you put your transfer on. I look like I'm moving in little pixels. I hope I look okay. Hi, Joni. So anyways, I've already started to work on my design. I've been thinking a lot about this since it's a weird shape. When the table tilts up, it's like a diamond shape, and I'm going to be cutting and filling in a lot of spots. But if you haven't seen it, this is the transfer that I'm using. It's called Wander. And what I'm going to do is fill in with some of the fronds. Now these are a huge, generous 24 by 33, I believe. Yep, 24 by 33 inches. And with the fronds one, you get a lot of different pieces, which is going to be great to fill in all my blank areas. Hey Rhonda, hey Mara, Joni, thanks for watching, you guys. Okay, so let me bend you down here. I'm gonna move the table. It's got kind of a funky design on it. I had something in my head. I hope it works out, but this is how I've painted it before. It's kind of got a midsection here, and hopefully that will all blend when I get the transfer. All right, so here's what I'm thinking. First of all, these transfers, they all have the grid lines on the backing, which is fabulous because they really help you get your piece on straight. So I'm eyeballing getting it straight this way on my table. And then I had to decide what it is that I am going to, because it goes over the edges because of my shape. So instead of centering this one, I moved it over a little bit because I really love this blue flower, and I wanted to make sure to get that blue flower in. And there was also something that got cut off right here that I cut out and that I'm going to put back on. Of course, I got him out already. So there was a flower up here. So I'm going to place that somewhere else. Maybe that was down here. And this is over here. Okay, so we're going to use all those pieces, but you can arrange your own design, which I think is fabulous. So usually two of these pieces never look the same because everybody's laying it out differently. Okay, so on the new ones here, there are these little tabs. I don't know if you can see this. And that really helps while you're cutting and you're doing your thing. It's not going to slip. You're not going to drop the backing off, okay? So that's another new improvement. Every time there is a new design, there's something better that comes out with IOD. They just keep making improvements. Lots of research and development. All right, I want to make sure I get this on straight, and I feel like I need to look at it from this side, so I hope my head doesn't get in the way. So once you've got your surface cleaned and sealed, I seal because I use a chalky paint. So sealing it will really help with the adhesion and the release of your transfer. Okay, so I'm not going to press down. I'm sorry, I just can't look at it upside down. I'm afraid I'm going to mess it up. So it's not pressed down, so it's okay. Let me just make sure I've got this on straight for the next. Yeah, okay. Thank goodness for the lines, or I never would be able to do that. Okay, so now that it's on, I'm going to push it down. That's going to help it so it doesn't move around. But if you are somebody who feels more comfortable using some painter's tape on yours, go ahead and tape it down. I have done enough of these that I'm going to hope that I don't make a mistake. All right, so we're all ready here. I've got my tool, which is a nice flexible tool that comes in the tube with the transfers. And I am just going to start rubbing. Now, usually what I do is I start rubbing. I want to make sure you guys can see every corner. Hi, Sally. Hi, Lisa. I start rubbing from the corners and go up. Now, the trick, once you start rubbing, that I have found with these transfers, and it's like an aha moment when you're having a workshop and you tell somebody, like, here's the trick. It's not about rubbing hard, really, because if you rub hard, you could be, lifting your paint. Sometimes that's the problem when your paint lifts up. It's about catching an air bubble. So if I'm on a corner and I lift up just a little bit, and I am going to put down, I'm going to leave like the smallest amount of space there. And can you see the color changing? See that color changing there? That's an air bubble, and that is pushing. That is helping to release the transfer. Okay, I'm really not pushing that hard. Now, there are times when a piece may not come off the transfer really easily that you do have to push hard. But as a general rule, they really should release. I've got part of this. I gotta decide if I'm gonna go around the corner. And because this is a tilt top table that stands up, I actually did paint, every inch of this is painted because when it's up, you see the whole thing. All right, so see that air? How many of you have already ordered or are using the new transfers? Oh, you just ordered this one? Oh, awesome. This is my favorite one. Let me know what your favorite is. I'm really curious to see. It's always fun when we have a new release to see the ones that are the most popular. This is my favorite one, and I think the reason that I love this one is because it's whimsical and because I like the hand-painted look and the black like outlines that look like they're hand-drawn. And I just think that that's just my taste, and this has been my favorite since I saw them. All right, see, that's coming off. Ooh, I can't wait to see this. Ooh, a little sneak peek. All right, I am holding it. I mean, I said I haven't had a problem not using tape, but I am holding it where I'm rubbing. It's coming off easily. I think this would look great on white too. I just wanted to add some color to my space. One of the great things about these types of tables, and the reason that I buy them for transfers especially, is because I can be a little more wild with my design because it stands up in like the back of a room. Look at that air bubble. Sorry, that gets me excited. But they stand up in the back of the room, so people who maybe are more conservative, they can just have this up and it looks like a piece of art standing aside as opposed to something, it's less scary for people, I think. So the tilt top tables are great for going crazy on, at least here. I think that I might cut that part off for you so you can see how beautiful it is while I keep rubbing. Yeah, because I want to see it. It's just because I have been waiting to do this transfer for so long. Oh my gosh, it's even more pretty than I thought it was going to be. That looks like I mixed my own paint and put it on, you guys. Do you seal your paint before you started your transfer? Yes, Michelle, I do seal my paint. I sealed it about 2 hours ago. I painted the table yesterday and sanded, and I sealed a couple hours ago. I seal my paint because I use a chalk style paint, and those are very porous. And so what we found is that sealing the paint before you apply your transfer, because of how porous it is, really helps with the release and the adhesion. All right, You see the air bubble? You can the air bubble, they look like little wrinkles, but they need to be small so your transfer's not moving around. I love this blue color in here. I would love to match it to something. This is going to be beautiful, Bonnie. Hi, Nancy. I gotta focus a little bit on this, and I will look up and answer questions after I get it on, because I also want to fill in some spots here and show you how you can layer and combine the transfers. Now, if you have, I have done a lot of transfers, and sometimes if you're doing them on a bureau or a piece that has drawers, it might lift, it might not stick. You know, sometimes that just happens. I fill in with paint, and I was trying to show a customer that who had a problem with hers, and I said, look, you can make it so you can't even find it. And I was trying to show her a piece of mine, and I couldn't even find my own mistake because it had been like 2 months. So I think that's the other reason I like the hand painted, is because these transfers that look hand painted is because you can mix your own painting in with them. And you can't even tell. All right, we are almost done with this one. Just this end over here. Now, I'm not sure if you can see that, but if you're new at the transfers, you can just see where it turns white, and that's how you know that it's released. If you lift and you have a piece that didn't release, like if I lifted this up, I could still see it on the backing here, and then what I would do is just rub a little bit more in that spot. So you also, if you think you're done, you don't want to like rip it off real fast, because you could have a piece that you're not sure, you're not aware of, that is still stuck to the backing. I have done that before, that's why I mention it. Okay, I'm gonna cut that again just so I can see better. Okay, so see right there? Oh, it's so hard with the glare, but I actually have a flower petal. I just lifted up, and I have a flower petal right there that is still on the backing. So because I looked at it and didn't do it too quickly, I can just put that right back down and rub that on. And voila, okay? Sometimes I get excited and work too fast, and I have pulled off some big chunks from doing that by accident. So trying to save you the hassle of that, because it's a bummer. All right, just pushing that air bubble. Oh, the colors in this are so vibrant. I hope the camera is picking that up. All right, so let me get behind it here. It's easier to have you have to have the air bubble kind of behind your stick. Oh my gosh. What do you guys think? Look at these colors. I am so excited. I am so excited. All right, we're gonna fill it in. Let me look and see if you guys have any questions. The other thing that you do, because I use the air bubble, you have to go back and push down, make sure that you get all of your pieces pushed down and adhered, because when you're doing the air bubble, you're releasing it, but you're really not giving it like the best one-to-one contact with your painted piece that you can. So you go back and you press it all down, and then we're going to burnish it when we're done with a cloth. We're not done yet though, because there's pieces that we're gonna fill in here. I'm gonna show you how to do that. And I might add a fern coming up here. So beautiful. Hi, you guys. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. Okay, so this is not the same, Karen, I think you're saying, do you mean decoupage, or is there something called tatage? Because it's not the same as decoupage, but I don't know what tatage is, or so if somebody else sees Karen's question and knows the answer to that, that would be great, because I don't know how to answer. Maybe there's a new form of art that I can learn still. All right, so these are the pieces that I cut out of this. And I also cut some ferns out. So let's see where they can go and look natural. I think actually that one might look good there. It doesn't really look like it's floating. I mean, it is floating, but some of these flowers are. They're not all on vines, I don't think. So I just don't want it to look silly, someone to think it looks silly. All right, so there we go. We're gonna put that one right there. And this was down here, I think, in the corner on the original design. So they're super easy to cut apart, and just be careful to leave the backing on. I have a pile of them that I have used for workshops where I've just got extra pieces, and I'm always pulling at those. You can make some great projects with your extras. Save every scrap. Now, if you do feel like this is floating, I'm trying to think of an example, but you know, if you want to just put flowers up here and you want to connect them in some way, you can go right in with a thin paintbrush and make like a little vine, or you could use one of the IOD stamps, and by the time you get it sealed, it really all does look very natural. Like you can't tell that you've added. All right, so I've got half a leaf here. What I really want, oh shoot. What I really want is this little orange flower. And I think I took that off from somewhere up here on the side. And then probably what I'll do is go around and rough up the sides where I wrapped it over to make it blend in. What did I do with the, oh, here's the rest of it. This is also part of this. I love piecing all of this together. Thank you, you guys. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Do you think it looks okay with what I've got going on at the bottom? I'll stand it up when I'm done so you can see kind of what it looks like over back in a corner or whatever. Okay, I think I'm going to use one of the fronds. All right, now the fronds is a 24 by 33, the frond botanical. It is huge. There are, I'll count the fronds at some point. There are so many, and when I first saw these, all I could think of was how if you have a nice wide piece, you can add to them to balance it off and stretch your design out. Or in this case, I need to kind of stretch it up a little bit, maybe in a couple of areas. I'm thinking kind of here where this red is, I might add something. And so you just cut them up and use them in separate projects. So I'm going to take this off the backing just to see through it and see. I want to try to balance it a little. All right, I don't want green and green next to each other, so I don't know. Does it need anything else? Let's look. Do you guys think it needs to be filled in anywhere? What are you seeing from where you are? I'm good having nothing up here. I think that, but I had intended on using the frond. You don't want to cover the flower. How about that, since I touched it already? Let's just add that on and see. Chances are I'm going to love it, and I'm going to say, oh, more frond. So you could just go right over, this is going right over part of the transfer I already put down. And it'll stick and layer and be fine. And I did already push this part down, so as long as everything is pushed down so it's adhering. So I asked who was using these transfers already. When you get them and you do your projects, make sure to watermark them and share them on the Iron Orchid Design, the IOD Creative Tribe Facebook page. I'm sure you guys are all in there. We'd love to see them. We don't have a lot of projects done with them yet, so it's great to see inspiration and how people are using them. All of your stockists, most stockists should have all of the new designs in stock. And there is a locator, stockist locator tab on the ironorchiddesigns.com website. And if somebody hasn't already done it, I'll drop that link in for you when we're done here. All right, so now I'm just wrapping. It's really easy to wrap these around the sides because they're flexible. So I've got all of this part off. I'm just holding it with my hand because I want to push it. There we go. All right, nice. So that wrapped right around the side, and I actually really like that. Oh, sometimes I just don't know where to stop with these projects, you know? What do you think? I mean, that blends right in, and that looks, the shading and the flower on that is really pretty. I've got this little piece here. I'm going to add right there. Don't let me go overboard, though. I'm going to look at your comments and see if you have any suggestions. Like, do I need something here? Do I want like a nice tall frond or something to go just right in there? Let's stand it up and look at it. I want you guys to see what it looks like. All right, excuse the mess back there. All right, so these tilt top tables usually have some sort of, I'm looking on the wrong side, so they've got a little lever under here, like a little, and they stand like this. Okay, so I know you're looking from down, but so this is what it looks like when it's standing back in a room. Now, what do you think of the balance? That is really just so pretty. We can't keep all the pieces in our house though, so some of them we have to get rid of. Love it, love it. No such thing as overboard, Rhonda. Okay, a butterfly or a bird. Yes, I was thinking of getting into the butterfly too. Where would you put that? I feel like I need something here. All right, I'm gonna grab the entomology. Oh my gosh. So if you aren't already watching me on Facebook, Serendipity House LLC, if you are, you know that I fly by the seat of my pants and make it up as I go. I love doing projects where I liked, you know, the pieces kind of talking to me and telling me what it needs next. So I love the suggestion of just grabbing a butterfly. All right, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna grab a butterfly. So if you haven't seen this one is called Entomology, etc. And it's got fish and birds and butterflies and bugs and all sorts of good stuff. So let me get a butterfly at the wonderful suggestion. Okay, so should it be a blue butterfly? I do like the blues. Can you tell the color that I like? But something right here. I think maybe because for me the red is maybe not, oops, I'm sorry you guys. I need to have a camera person. Okay, I think for me, because the red is not playing off as much as I would like it to off of this color blue. So I am going to, well, let's see, do I care about scale? Should I choose a small butterfly? I don't know. Here I go. I'm just going to cut out a butterfly that has some black and red in it. Oh, I'll cut a couple out and then you guys can. Oh, it also has ladybugs, which I just cut the legs off of because I'm hurrying too much. Okay. So this is what I grabbed off the sheet. So somewhere in here, I think maybe, I kind of like the green one to play off of the red. Let's do this one. Did I choose okay? They're all just so good. It's hard to choose. They're all just so good. It's about as big as the flower. That way? What do you think? They don't look like they're flying. You know what? They look more like specimens than them being in flight. Does that kind of tie together the... All right, I'm gonna go that right there. So the reason I picked this one, it might be a little large, but yeah, I love it. I'm just trying to pick up both colors here. Who knows what's gonna happen in a few minutes when we're done. I could turn the camera off and who knows what I'll add to it, because you know, that's just what happens. I might put another one right there, another little one. Might means I'm going to cut it out now. Does anybody have any questions? You all have used the transfers, I'm thinking. Right? If you're new, then head on over to the Creative Try page. Lots of beautiful projects to follow for inspiration. And lots of question and answers going on. Now these smaller ones, if you're doing these little pieces, it is harder to get an air bubble. There we go, but it came off pretty easily. How are we doing? Something above the daisy, you think, Bonnie? Right here? See, let's see. I think you're right. I think something, I don't mind the negative space. In fact, I like having the negative space in it for balance. But these are not showing up real well, so I will not put a fish in there. How about a dragonfly or two? All right, so I got a couple of dragonflies. We had a moth about bigger than that, honestly, at our, I don't remember what they're called, moon moths or something. Bright green once scared me so much I didn't know what it was. I had never seen one, but every once in a while. I was thinking that was big, but it really isn't, because there's such thing as moths that big. All right, there. I think it's coming along. Thank you for putting the link in, Sally. Usually I stand back and I grab a sip of my coffee to decide. You know what? Let's see. I'm going to put one over here. And I think that I'm going to show you how to wrap this up. I might add some more when we're done, but let me grab a cloth right here. So I just use a lint-free cloth, and what you want to do when you're done putting your transfers on is take the cloth and rub gently in small circles. So what I'm doing is, if there's any air bubbles underneath here, it's all getting pressed down. So you have the adhesion with between the transfer and your piece, because when you go to top coat this, now you could either wax it or you could use a water-based top coat, but you don't want to have any room for that to get underneath your transfer or it could lift it. And sometimes you can see little wrinkles in it, and so you just rub those right out. See, I see some right here. I'm sure the camera's not picking that up, but on the larger one, sometimes you can see where it's not completely adhered. Okay, I am super excited to finish this and show it to you guys. I'm going to work on it a little bit more, and then I am going to seal it and try to photograph it tomorrow. So head on over to my page, Serendipity House LLC on Facebook. Give me a follow if you would, and keep watching. We're going to have some great tutorials for you, hopefully showing all the new transfers that just came out, and you can get yours at your closest stockist, and the link is already dropped down into the feed here. All right, thanks guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.